Okay, focus people, focus. We need front wings over here, we need rear wings over there. Everything must come with us. It's the final upgrades on the car. And somebody pack Logan's clown suit. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Kicking Haas. Today we have our final home race of the season, Circuit of the Americas, and it is all to play for after a disastrous Japan. It could not have been any different to the Singapore race, the one before that. No points scored by us, but thankfully no points scored by Max Verstappen either. And for this one, we do have upgrades on the car. The final upgrades, front and rear wings. Now, I haven't added them onto the car yet, so we can see what difference it makes. So if we go here, go to show rank on grid, and we can see, where are we here? The new one, which is the F3. We are quite slow all of a sudden again, but look at this, the speed. Now, I'm not sure if this is the upgrade on, so we must have the first one on, do we? I'm not. Or is it just no front wing, maybe? Which is what Magnussen, of course, finished the last race with. So we'll install that on. That does make us look a little bit better, doesn't it? Now, the other part that we have is the rear wing. Underfloor will be here for the next one. It's not quite happened in time to get on for this one. And we can see there, we're still quite draggy, though, aren't we? Top speed and acceleration is still not great. And there is some long straights, of course, here as well. So, I mean, that's kind of is what it is for the rest of the year now. These are the final upgrades we're going to have time to do. So, yeah, that does look a little bit better than maybe it did previously, though. Now, if we go and have a quick look here at drivers, we do have a development point for Sargeant, and also for Crawford. Can we stick that onto braking for you, I think? Now, we do have everything else here up to 80, so we've got to start and make him a little bit more of a rounded driver. Let's try and get everything up to 50. I feel like a Formula 1 driver should at least have every stat above halfway. So there we go. That's Logan taken care of there, and the other one, of course, is Jack Crawford, and we wanted to try and get him up to 70, didn't we, from everything? So we'll continue to try and do that for him. Staff. Now we do have development points to hand out here as well. Our head of aero, who of course will be leaving at the end of the season, all things being equal. High speed downforce. We just need to be faster in a straight line, I think, mate. But let's go with DRS Delta. And do I see a race engineer with a development point? No, I did not. So that is everything there. If we have a look at what we're expecting here, we are expecting a wet qualifying potentially, but a dry race. Lap record is Charles Leclerc. So for qualifying purposes, red sector 1, blue sector 2, yellow sector 3. Sections by speed. It has a little bit of everything, doesn't it? It is a really, really good track. I like it. It's one of my favorites. We can see there, high and low speed cornering is what we need, which we sort of have to a point. Pit stop time, it's 20 odd seconds for a green flag stop, or take 6 seconds off for a safety. So safety car doesn't save you that much time, relatively speaking. It looks like it is a 2-stop race, whether you do medium, medium, hard, soft, medium, hard. The soft doesn't look like it lasts very long, though, which suggests I want to save a set of mediums in free practice. And look at the drop off, 0.2 of a second a lap is the drop off. So yeah, this eats tires. It really, really does. Bear that in mind, Aussie Villain. All right, so last year K-Mag was 5th, Sargeant 10th in his home race to get a point, and historically, well, we don't need Max Verstappen going and winning this one, do we? Let's have a look at what we can expect here from the performance target to reach Q2. You'd like to think we can do that. Now, of course, by not scoring any points last race, we have destroyed our finishing streak, so that's a bit of a bummer. We need a car in the top 8 there, and we need both cars in the top 10 for the last 4 races of the season. I'd like to hope we could do that, and one in the top 10 for qualifying. We'll get the job done on that one. But then anyway, let's head off to Austin here and see what we can do. So yeah, wet, potentially qualifying. It could be free practice, of course, that it rains. We won't know till we get there, but I'm going to do for this free practice, and I will see you momentarily to see where we qualify. Alright, so free practice is done. It did rain a little bit in FP3, so we may not get rain in qualifying, which doesn't really matter here nor there. FP1, we can see the times here. Now, I did leave K-Mag in the car. The reason for that, I wanted to, with the new parts, to just get as familiar as possible with everything. So 18th and 19th in that one. FP2, if we quickly scroll down, it was 14th and 15th. And then FP3, which was the one interrupted by rain, you can see there K-Mag was 13th on a medium tyre, Sargeant was 15th on a medium tyre. So I think, it's difficult to know for sure, but I do think we have moved up the order because, remember, our parts are getting older and older and slower all the time. So I think we're seeing a benefit of the upgrades. Oh, and I forgot about this. Sargeant has a 3-place grid penalty because I didn't serve his penalty in Spa, which was silly, wasn't it? We can see the setups more or less nailed, so I'll go and do Q1, and it should be fine. Alright, now it has just started raining. The track is quite wet. We got our times in, although Sargeant was blocked a little bit. Verstappen has not got a time in as of yet. He's out there now. He's behind Alonso on an outlap. Let's hope that he's going to get knocked out here. He's currently, he's in the bottom. He could be out here, you know. Keep raining. Let it rain. Let it rain. Let it rain. There's still guys that haven't done times though, so he's probably going to be okay. No, he's out. As things stand, Verstappen is out. Now, this would be massive because what it would allow us to do, of course, is take that penalty with K-Mag, and we would still be ahead of Verstappen on the track. So, is this a potentially, again, championship deciding move that could be done here? They're all out there on mediums. Let's have a look at sector times. Is Verstappen going any faster? Checkered flag is out. We don't have to worry. We're through. We've done a time on dry tyres. Game, if you could just cooperate here. Verstappen is out. Verstappen is last. Well, well, well. That is monumental. It's falling our way, isn't it? This championship is definitely falling our way. So eliminated is Stroll, Albon, Vettel, Guan Yu Zhou, and Max Verstappen. What has happened there? What a mess up from Red Bull. Alright, it has been a chaotic session, Q2. Now, we've done a run on used tyres. Sargeant again was blocked. K-Mag, we're on board with Sargeant. K-Mag is 9th, Sargeant is 13th. Tsunoda is out, so there's only 4 cars that will face a drop here. Now, of course, we want K-Mag now to be as far up the grid as possible, so when we take this penalty, obviously, if you qualify 2nd and drop 10 places, it's different to qualifying 8th and dropping 10 places. So it is important that we get K-Mag, well, just even to get through this one. And of course, Sargeant with facing that grid penalty as well, ideally will get himself inside the top 10 here. You'd like to think, with the upgrades to the front and rear wings, that we'll be able to do it. We've done 2 green sectors with Sargeant. K-Mag has done 2 green sectors as well. Sargeant sort of mid-pack, you may notice. Looks like it was going to run out of time, so I just wanted to get especially Sargeant out there. He goes 8th. Magnussen's currently out. Magnussen into the final corner. Can he put himself back in? He can. 6th. So that is a big lap when we needed it from K-Mag, isn't it? So we're both through again into Q3. Let's see how far up the grid we can get ourselves now. Alright, here we go with K-Mag coming around the final corner. First run, as ever, was done on a used set. I have saved a set of mediums for the race, so we have 2 mediums. We should have a new set of softs as well. So 2 sets of new mediums, 1 set of softs, and obviously the new set of hard tyres as well. So that should all look good. Sargeant is currently 10th, K-Mag 7th. Alonso is sort of the outlier there in 5th right now. So hopefully, at least Magnussen will be able to get ahead of him. Sainz is between our 2 cars, though. Checkered flag is out, which doesn't surprise anybody. And let's see here, can we do green 2nd sectors? Sargeant can. K-Mag is just here somewhere, I think. He can as well. So down to 9th right now. Gasly's put in a good lap. Let's hope that that K-Mag, he needs to, if he can get, well, obviously take as high up as he can for these penalties. Sargeant has gone 7th. Can K-Mag get ahead of him? Hopefully he can. He goes 5th, ahead of Sainz as well. So K-Mag 5th, Sargeant 9th. Now he will take 3 places, so he will drop back to 12th. K-Mag, I think his penalty is going to be 10, which will drop him to 15th, which will move either Sargeant back up or he'll start 14th. I'm not 100% sure how that'll work out for us. Okay, so we've put the new part onto K-Mag's car, so it says right now he's starting 5th. As I said, I think it's a 10-place penalty, which will move Sargeant up to 11th, I'm assuming, and K-Mag will be 15th. Now, we saw that this is not a race for a soft tyre. It's barely a race for a medium tyre, looking at that, isn't it? So, I don't think you want to finish the race on a hard, though, do you? You'd want to do the stint on the hard tyre, surely, in the middle of the race, and then have at least have the more competitive tyre on at the end, I would have thought, anyway. And you probably... No, maybe we do want to go into a hard as early as possible, just because the drop-off is quite big, isn't it? So I think that's what we want to do, and I don't know that there's too much room for manoeuvring around. Do we want to try and make up some early places with K-Mag on a soft tyre? It drops off so quick. No, I don't think we do, because we only have one set of soft tyres that is new, and I think I'd rather save that if we have a situation sort of late in the race where we have a safety car. Then I think I would rather have the fresh soft tyre with 10 laps to go if we need it. So yeah, we'll do that and get that medium tyre going to the end. And yeah, it's a little bit of a boring one, but well, we would assume the IA. See, that's the AI, I should say. IA is the team in Iceland we play. I mean, we're essentially doing strategy C, which I've only just realised, but I think it works better, doesn't it? Surely it does. Yeah, I mean, it's not really playing into the hands, I suppose. If there is a late race safety car, maybe, yeah, the difference of being on a hard to a medium. But anyway, this is what we're doing. Let's hope it's a good race for us. All right, this is it. I can see K-Mag, and so they're just back there, I think. Verstappen all the way at the back. You love to see that. And, well, this is very much, 14th is K-Mag. Very much we just want to try and finish ahead of Verstappen as much as possible and get through this first corner without damage, which it looks like we've done. So we've got, so there's a few soft-tired runners here. That surprises me. I thought there would be more of a 50-50 split than that. If Stroll can kindly go away. We've got Mick Schumacher in front of us here. So the Williams have a bit of pace if Schumacher's in 13th. Verstappen's all the way back there in 19th. So, yeah, we just need to try and hope that that he stays behind us there. Good move from K-Mag up the inside of Mick Schumacher. That gets him out of the way. Next up is Lewis Hamilton. We're not quite done with Mick yet, doesn't look like, but we've got that done now. Yeah, a soft-tired Hamilton could be difficult to overtake, and then it's Sargeant in front of him. So, time will tell how that all plays itself out. But so far, so good. Verstappen only 18th. And that is, yeah, that's not a bad thing at all. If we could get Sargeant ahead of Ricciardo here, that would be great. Soft tyres, though. He's only going to be out there for, what, 9-10 laps, I think it was, wasn't it? When they were expected to have to come in, so he's not going to be out there for super long, but he is sort of in our way just now, which is not ideal. Can Sargeant stick a move up the inside? No, not quite. Magnussen, however, did, oh, not quite, hasn't quite got it done yet. Up the inside, that should be that. Have some curb, Lewis. And it will mean DRS is opened momentarily. We'll back off the ERS and hopefully be able to get some moves done with the assistance of DRS, though we might be in a little bit of a DRS train here. But yeah, let's see how this race plays out. We're sort of waiting for the soft tyre runners to come in, I think, here, aren't we? Alright, so we have the soft tyre runners are coming in now. We have been harvesting. We were kind of stuck. Ocon and Ricciardo were just DRSing each other, and we kind of got stuck behind them. So we find ourselves 7th and 8th. We've been, as I said, harvesting the battery, so I'm hoping we should be able to get past Ocon here nice and quickly. That is certainly the plan anyway. We do have Sargeant set to not fight his teammate, so he sort of moved over, let K-Mag go past. And now we will hopefully get, there we go, easy work done there. And we'll just keep deploying and hopefully make some, make some grass while the sun shines, or whatever the saying is. So let's see if Sargeant can get himself past Ocon now as well, while he has his deploy on. And yeah, I mean, the soft tyre runners are going to come back into the race, aren't they? They're sort of a medium and hard tyre now to the end. Yeah, K-Mag's not really able to break the DRS there, though, is he? So that's slightly problematic, because what that's going to mean, of course, is that he's going to tow along Ocon, and it's not going to be really possible for Sargeant to get past. So he does look like he has a decent run on him here. Let's try a bit of deploy out of the corner there, and here we go. We might have a chance here. Can Logan Sargeant pass Ocon and not hit the back of Magnussen? We're about to find out. No, he can't do, well, he can only do one of them, which is not hit the back of Magnussen. And I think that is probably the most important of all of them. Verstappen is now 11th, though he does have soft tyre runners behind them. He was really struggling to come through. So we've got, he's outside of DRS now. Come on, Sargeant. You've got to get this done, please, mate. You've got to get this done. Come on. Come on. You can do it, Logan, please. All right, well, let's see how the race develops from here for us. Magnussen is flying, though. He's catching the back of these two. So Gasly looks like he's a bit of a cork in the bottle here, and then it's the Mercedes and the Ferrari of Leclerc in front of them. Alright, so we have pit stops happening. We will stop Sargeant on this lap. Yes, that is fine. Go on to the hard tyre and see what he can do. Magnussen is going to have to push on a little bit here because both Gasly and Norris have stopped. So this is his chance now to try and perform a bit of an overcut. They're going to come out onto a hard tyre, we expect, or is it going to be another medium? It might be another medium. You know, what sort of tyres are other people putting on here? No, it is another medium. So, yep, we will pit K-Mag this lap. He is going to momentarily lead the Grand Prix, but not through merit necessarily. We can see behind there is that Leclerc and Perez, who are, I think they've already stopped. Was Leclerc a soft runner at the start? I can't remember. But anyway, K-Mag will be in this lap. Let's check an eye on the stop for Sargeant. Not too bad. He comes out ahead of Verstappen, hopefully. Yes, ahead of Verstappen. Okay. And let's keep an eye on this Kevin Magnussen stop now. He's the only car, along with Vettel, who hasn't stopped, and I'm not quite sure what happened to Vettel. So Leclerc stopped last lap, it looks like. I don't think K-Mag's in for a victory here. We would need to get a little bit of help from a safety car, I would imagine. But I'm okay with that, to be honest. What we don't want is Verstappen getting any sort of helping hand. If he stays down there in 15th, that is a good day for Haas. So we come into the pits. Is it going to be a good, solid pit stop, please, boys? Where are we? There we are there. It is 2.6 seconds. That's a good one. Where does it bring us out? Are we ahead of? No, we're well behind Norris and Gasly. No, they're just in front of us, so it's not a complete disaster. But, yeah, we've been overcut as opposed to undercut there. But that's okay. That's okay. Oh, and Sargeant is locked up. He's let Verstappen past. He's had his good couple of races, and now we've got the old Logan back. Unbelievable, Logan. Oh, K-Mag is locked up, and Verstappen's going to get past him.
Let's have a look.
What is going on with the Haas drivers lately? He was doing so well. Verstappen was catching him. But that is just what we did not need. And he's outside the points again, and Verstappen is 6th. It is going to come back to us this race, K-Mag. You don't need to panic. We're on the hard tyre right now. It's going to come back to us, but oh, we've got to be in a position to take advantage of it. Alright, so we are getting some more tyre stops now. It's guys that sort of started on the soft are now going onto the hard. So they've got a long way to go. We're just over halfway through. Verstappen is ahead of Perez. Verstappen is currently 5th ahead of Perez, ahead of Magnussen. Magnussen is ahead of Perez. Like I say, though, we are going to have a... What's happened here? Safety car. Oh, this changes everything. Safety car, safety car. All right, now, unfortunately, this is why we should have put medium, hard, isn't it? It's too early for us to come in for the medium. Do we come in for a stop now? Do we do medium, soft? So if we do a medium and then a soft, that it does get us there. We could be quite racy. You know, we could in theory push on quite a bit, especially towards the end on the soft tyre, and everybody else is on the old hards. If we don't stop now, we're all sort of nose to tail. We're 6th, and we're whatever Sargeant is 10th or whatever. But we're going to lose, like the gap we have, and we're going to basically come out towards the back, aren't we? And we're going to have a medium tyre on, which will be a nice advantage, but not a great one. This is very racy. If we can serve, it doesn't get us to the end either way. All right, well, if we're going to go down, let's go down swinging. We've had safety cars work in our favour already this season. This has worked against us, but we're going to try and make the best of a bad situation. We're going to have a go, and we're going to just kind of see what happens when we get to the end of the race. All right, so this is what caused the safety car. It was Gasly just in front of Sargeant there, and he's just decided he didn't need to brake, apparently, and that's a safety car. So it looks like everybody is pitting. Now, these are cars that we're going to have to pit anyway, potentially. It may well be. But they're going to put on a hard tyre, aren't they? So they were... Good stop. So that it's kind of worked out perfectly for them and not against us. If we'd just done the stupid strategy A and hadn't edited it, we would have been absolutely sitting pretty here. But we're sitting 8th and 13th, and we're going to be very much racing to the end now. Alright, so we are on board with Sargeant. Now, it'll be interesting to see what happens to Charles Leclerc, because he was on the same strategy as us. He didn't stop. So, yeah, like I say, it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens with him. That'll be a good sort of gauge as to whether I did the right thing or the wrong thing here, potentially. Either way, I mean, we basically need to pull out a pit stop gap. He's at the front, so has a little bit of a better chance to do that. I just think the difference is, I mean, we've only dropped 3 positions with Sargeant by doing this. What we've done, of course, was we've lost all the gaps of the race. So we probably need to deploy. I was wondering if we save it, but I think we need to be moved forward. Sorry, as fast as we can, don't we? So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out from here. It was just a very poorly timed safety car for us. Oh, almost. Good move. Good move, K-Mag. Should get that done down the straight, shouldn't he? We are a very draggy car, aren't we? And Kevin Magnussen may have just sent his championship hopes up in a big plume of tyre smoke. He is now 18th with a pit stop to come. He is absolutely stuffed. He needs another safety car, and even then it may not save him. Oh, it's just when it looked like it was all going our way. Alright, well, both cars have stopped, and it's 18th and 17th. Leclerc is currently up to 11th. Now, of course, the advantage Leclerc has, unlike Magnussen, is that he didn't stick it off into the weeds, so... Oh, Leclerc stopped again, has he? So Leclerc is now right there with Magnussen. So it was just a bad safety car, wasn't it? It was brilliant in Singapore, and it has not worked out for us here. How fast is Sargeant going? Sargeant might sneak back for a point if he's lucky. Magnussen does have fastest lap right now, so that's something.
An excellent move by Haas.
But yeah, I mean, we're fast, but we're too far back for it to matter. So that's, yeah, it just kind of is what it is. And Verstappen is third. He might even win this race, which would be almost curtains. So it is Verstappen coming across in third position. Sargeant, I mean, for the most part, has driven okay. He's got himself back to 11th, which is where he finishes. K-Mag, he will come around. He will finish in 15th for the second race in a row. No points for Haas. And, yeah, this was more a circumstance and then some stuff-ups, I think. So I do wonder a little bit, Verstappen up 16 places, if, you know, maybe K-Mag just it doesn't quite have the mentality first time around to challenge for a world championship. Is the pressure showing? In the end, I mean, he went down 1 from where he started. We do have the new ERS, but he needed to get the new ERS and sort of finish in the top 5, didn't he? To get it and not score anything. It doesn't help us, does it? It really doesn't help us. So the gap is out to now 18 points. It's still close enough. But with only 3 races to go, we really are going to need we're going to need some help now. Sargeant dropped down to 10th, and like I say, second race in a row, no points. And Mercedes are starting to get worryingly close as well, aren't they? I'd be horrified if we didn't get third this year, I've got to say. But guys, that'll do it for today. If you have enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. The next race is the Mexican Grand Prix. I do believe the new underfloor will be with us for that. And, well, let's hope so, and we can get that on. Maybe that'll make all the difference, and we can finish 1, 2, the last 3 races, and K-Mag can be world champion. Take care. Let me know what you think in the comments.